Good evening. Sven here for Common Sense Survival. Tonight I want to talk a little bit about flint strikers for flint and steel type strikers and how to economically make your own striker because, well, we're not all blacksmiths and we all are trying to do things on a budget these days, so we can't always just go out and buy something. So you're looking to try to make something on your own, and kind of come up with a way for the common man to make himself a pretty nice little flint striker. Now I've been a steel worker, a welder, fabricator for almost 40 years. I do actually do a little bit of blacksmithing myself, and just want to share with you a quick and easy way to make a really nice flint striker for yourself uh, with things that you'll probably find in your garage or maybe a buddy's garage. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, excuse me. Um, Flint strikers come in all shapes and sizes. You know, we got real fancy ones. Got real, some old style C type. And you want it something to, not knock your knuckles off because uh, flint is extremely sharp, and if you're not handling it properly, you're going to get cut. So, you know, once again, all shapes and sizes, flint strikers. Some of these are laser cut and water jetted. I've got like this one here, and I collect them. I've collected flint strikers for quite a while. Here's another one that's been laser cut out. There we go. Little fire breathing dragon there. I believe that was Ember Light. But anyway, how to make a flint striker if you don't have the finances to just run out and buy something, or you don't have the ability to forge your own. Here's a hand forged striker like that. Um, we don't all live in the country, like I said. We don't all have the tools to do a lot of this stuff. I've been very, very fortunate over the years that I'm in the business a little bit. But anyway, what you need to start out with is a very hard piece of material. And I like to start off with a file. Okay, usually has a handle, has these little ribs on it, and it's used for shaping and taking burrs off of metal because this is very, very hard. And they come in all sizes. So here's a couple of them here, just to give you an idea. Let me show you another one here. Here's another one here. Okay, all kinds of shapes and sizes, but they all have one thing in common, and that is that it is a very hard material, a very high carbon material, a high carbon content. So this material is very, very hard, number one. It's also very brittle. If I were to really take a good swing with this big file on a rock, pow, it's going to break. Pow. Okay? So that's actually your first part of making your flint striker. You want to take your file, okay, and you want to measure it so that it's going to fit in an Altoids tin. At least that's what I do. Okay, there's your Altoids tin. So you measure it, you put a line on it there, you put it in a small vise out in your garage. Safety first, because this is going to snap here. You always want safety glasses, maybe some gloves, and snap a piece off. So what you wind up with is a piece about like that. Okay. Now what you do is you're going to need a grinder. an electric, either a pedestal grinder with the the wheels coming this way, or a hand grinder, or a type of a hand sander. And what you want to do is you'll have to have a bucket of water, and you're going to need to grind this edge smooth, because it has, let me see if I can get this in the camera, it has these teeth on here, okay, just like it has on the sides. It has these file teeth on there, and you want to remove that. You want to do this very carefully, and you want to keep your material as cool as possible. So if you have a hand sander, you sand the side, the edge of the file down, and 3 or 4 strokes, cool it, put it in the water. Do it again, kind of round it a little bit, put it in the water. Once again, put it in the water. Don't let it. The whole key to make this as a usable flint striker is to keep it as cool as possible when you are removing the teeth and doing any other grinding on the edge. I like to put a little file, a little chamfer on my ends over here, so I can also use this as a little pry tool. Now here's another one here. Put a little chamfer on it here, and you can see that I've also smoothed this edge. Now I only usually do that on one edge because it's a lot less to work with. But also, not only is this a flint striker, not only is it a little pry tool, or yeah, I can pop a beer can off with that thing too, you know. Pop a bottle cap off with a good cold one. But you also have a file here still. This is still a file. So if you're out in the bush and you're really digging up a knife, maybe you're digging in the dirt to make a fire bed, or whatever, or you're chopping and you slip, you hit a rock or something. It happens. You can still use this as a file to straighten that blade out and continue on taking care of business. So once again, after you snap this off, you want to dress that edge out. Make sure there's no sharp edges that you're gonna get cut on, because it will be very, very sharp. Want to clean the teeth off of one edge here as your striking surface, and if you want to, put a little chamfer here so that you've got a little bit of a multi-tool. So I've got a multi-tool, I have a flint striker, and I have a file. Who knows, maybe I broke a nail. So you know what, I sit around my fire later after I'm done making a fire with this, and I take care of that broken nail. And yes, I have a pretty good sense of humor. You take a little piece of flint here, and this is just, once again, it's just a piece of a file that I've cleaned up, and you can see that throws some pretty nice sparks. Now the other thing you want to remember is, okay, this one is a lot smaller. The smaller your flint striker or your steel is a little bit more difficult to use. It doesn't have the weight to it. It doesn't have the grip area also to it, and that is why when I hand forge a flint striker, very, very heavy. Okay, this was a heavy file, and when I pound that out, I let that edge swell, and it has good weight to it. So when I pick that up, I know I've got something in my hand. These little Ember Light ones, I mean, they work. Okay, they work. But I find these to be, see how small that is compared to what I prefer? The smaller the striker, the harder it is to to hold on to, and it just doesn't have the weight there to throw into the stone, into your flint. I mean, I can get a spark off of this, but it's much more difficult. Where if I've got something that I can hold on to, and it's got the forward weight already to it, very similar to your survival knives that you like a good chopper, you want that weight out there. Same thing with your flint and steel. You get a good heavy steel, and it's just much more effortlessly to create the spark to jump onto your char cloth and to create that ember to create the fire in the end. So keep that in mind. You know, if you're looking at flint steels, look for the bigger, heavier ones. You'll be much happier with them. And if you're going to make your own out of a file, and I pick these up at flea markets whenever I see them, get the biggest, heaviest file you can find and the thickest. We're looking at the thickness here. Then you want to grind this edge after you snap a nice piece, and you won't be sorry, because you'll have substance there, and it gives you that much more mass. It's going to last that much longer. And the other thing that you don't have to worry about when you make a flint striker of this type is you don't have to worry about heat treating. All you have to do is snap it off, grind a nice surface on it there, and you're ready to go. Clean a few rough edges up, and you are ready to go. That's all I've got here. And here's a little piece of flint. Let's see here. And I'm getting all kinds of spark off of that, and that's plenty to get a piece of char cloth or a piece of punk wood lit up, and it just works fantastic. So if you don't have a lot of money, or if you're working on a budget, this is the way to go right here. Now, as far as your flints go, okay, I collect flint too. I'm sorry. Go online, find your local musket shop, and order the biggest musket flint you can find. These musket flints are usually very, very heavy English flint. It's excellent quality, and I do have a few around here somewhere. So that's a really good place to start looking for some flint. Or if you have the time, you know, railroad tracks in the United States have got a lot of chert. Flint is not native to the United States. England, Europe, true flint. You're going to find chert, and anywhere maybe you find arrowheads and that sort of thing. You find a lot of chert deposits in a limestone, I believe it is. I'm not an expert on that. But I just thought I had another video of me making one of these out in my garage, and for some reason it just wouldn't download. So made another video here of just me in the shack here, and wanted to come to you guys. And I hope you get a little something out of this. Just a real simple, easy way. You can make up 2 or 3 of these easily in like a half an hour's time if you just have the right tools. All you really need is a grinder, maybe a vise, and a bucket of water. Key to keeping this thing cool. That's the whole thing. So this is Sven from Common Sense Survival. And let's try to keep it affordable out there, guys. And if you can afford to go spend $25-$30 on a flint striker, that's cool. I've done it. Like I said, I've collected them. You know, got this one from Russia, and I have some from here, there, and everywhere. A lot of the rendezvous that I go to, I usually pick them up. But it can get pricey. So keep it affordable, and be prepared, people. be prepared, because you want to be prepared when the shit hits the fan. Thank you and good night.